Okay, let's get into it. The lesson today is season 6 of Real Housewives of County. Orange County. Season 6 of Real Housewives of Orange County, part 1. This is the first 8 episodes. It's a 16 episode arc. It's a short one. Why do you think it was the shorter episode order?
Maybe after Tamra has sex on screen,
They
they're
were
like,
too hot.
we can't, too hot to handle.
Yeah, we don't
Too
want to
hot
be
to handle.
sued by our camera operators for sexual harassment.
Yeah, they were like, we can't let this happen with Vicki and Dawn.
No.
So they were like, what we
Cut it
can
short.
do is let their marriage fall completely by the wayside and cut the season short.
Yeah. It's definitely either that, or I think that this might have been when they started, I think next season they might be when they push filming from summer to fall, and then OC got that
circadian clock.
Summer, circadian clock summer release instead of summer filming, where it is right now.
Yeah.
The look and feel of summer.
Summer's Eve.
Summer's Eve. Yes, it's like the OC is a douche for the soul. And that's what I felt when I saw.
Yeah, like you think it's cleansing, but in fact, it's doing so much damage.
It's killing the good bacteria inside of you.
It's so bad. It's very damaging.
Yeah.
Don't.
Internally, you won't be able to walk straight.
You'll feel so fresh.
You'll feel fresh, but yeah, you can't have sex.
No, you shouldn't. You're forever changed.
You're forever changed.
Yeah.
Okay, so season 6, we have a new housewife. She's not a total flop.
No,
her name is Peggy.
Yeah, I really liked her. I forgot about her though, completely.
She's kind of like a Kimberly to me.
She's kind of like a Kimberly. She looks a lot like Cameron Westcott from Dallas.
Ugh, I'm doing an evil eye to protect myself from Cameron Westcott.
I thought you meant like X Factor.
No. No, not a fan of the Westcotts. But we are a fan of Peggy Tanis. It's weirdly, there's so many Tammys on OC. There's also a ton of Peggys, and she's the first.
Mm-hmm.
She is rich, and she claims she's like, I'm not like the other housewives. I'm a Republican. And we're like, bitch, they're all Republicans. But she shoots guns, so that is
she does, and she's
different.
she got a Bentley with her boobs. Or no, she got a Bentley. The other ones don't have Bentleys, so.
Yeah, she has a husband who looks exactly like Brian Dunkelman, the original host of American Idol.
He does. And he looks like he has first season Dunkelman money. First season of American Idol Dunkelman money.
Yeah, he's got those Dunkin' Donuts.
He's got the Dunkel, they're not all the way rich, but they did get money from Fox.
Yes, yeah. They're not like Housewives now rich, but for the OC at the time, coming off of the recession, they've got the bucks.
And Bravo she could do her boobs and,
So Tamra is freshly post-divorce, but this season she kind of was able to play the fence, in Vicki versus everyone, I'm just friends with everyone except for Simon because he's horrible to me. But now everyone's like, you have to choose. It's Vicki or it's the rest of the girls. It's Vicki or it's Alexis and Gretchen.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of has her choice made for her a little bit. She throws a shopping party where Gretchen comes and gets absolutely hammered.
Yeah.
And I hate this plot so much, but I hate it so much
because it's okay. They have it at Eddie's house, right? She has the party at Eddie's house. No one's met Eddie. Eddie is not there. And then Tamara's like, whatever. They don't get to meet my boyfriend yet. Fine, but I'm still going to have it at his house. I guess because she was in between, I look like shit, by the way. I didn't put on makeup and I was like, whatever.
Me neither.
No, but I have hello. We can edit that.
I didn't even notice until.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
But anyway, she has
her separation agreament is that she can't show the kids on camera.
Well,
so that's
she
why...
also has at this party she has that naked guy.
Yeah.
Who's serving cocktails. Remember, he was half naked. Well, he's just not wearing a shirt.
Yeah. She's got a lot
Tamra's
of
like, I wish girls would be a little more respectful and kind. Yeah, and she's like, why are these girls getting drunk and flirting with my bartender? Be a little classy, girls.
Yeah, she's that's the beauty
What
of
is she?
Tamra.
You think I'm an evil-eyed bitch? You think I'm an evil-eyed bitch?
Yeah, so
she's trying to be classy. That's what Tamra says at her own party where she's yelling at people for not being classy.
Yeah, it's like Gretchen. The second Gretchen says anything passive aggressive to her, which is like there's like it's so stupid, but they talk about it all the time from here on out, so we've got to like bring it up. But like there's like an evil eye hat, and an evil eye is like what you do to ward off evil or witches or whatever. And then
witches.
Gretchen's like, oh, I need that for Tamra. And Tamra is like, that's when she turns.
Yeah.
She's like,
you think I'm an evil-eyed bitch? Is that what you're saying?
It's like so benign compared to stuff that Tamra generally says.
She's like the whole.
Dare you?
Oh yeah, she's like Greta Thunberg. You have stolen my dreams.
She goes full Greta at Andrew Tate.
How dare you?
How dare you? And then also Tamra, she's doing a lot. She's pretty much pushing all the stories in this first half. You know what?
Tamra's so good this season. She's got
doing so much.
She's got some really heinous things to Gina, but she's really funny this season.
Yeah. And so then Alexis later wants to talk to Tamra about this and is like taking Gretchen's side because she's like, well, she just said like the evil eye thing, but then you like flipped out at her. Can we just like bury this under the rug? And Tamra's like, I'm not gonna bury this. But also this whole conversation, Alexis is picking her teeth and then looking at the food inside of her nails, and the editors leave it in, so I couldn't really pay attention because I was like, girl, not on camera.
Not on Tamra.
Not on Tamra.
Yeah, Alexis is going insane this season.
Yeah. Well, part of it is the addition of Peggy. She and Peggy were kind of friends, and Peggy and Jim went way back. But now Peggy is like just like, joshing a little the way that, Gretchen did when Alexis joined the cast, where it's like, you guys are very different from the way I knew you, that you're now like super Christian trad wife. Like they kind of started this whole trad wife thing, by the way. Icons.
They did. Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. Except they weren't like making like, strawberry cakes in the middle of the afternoon.
No. Not Alexis's style.
Not Alexis.
No, she's making strawberry cake out of her teeth.
And she's like, respect me. Why won't you respect me?
But
they're
now
kind of like in
Alexis is mad.
Yeah, like Alexis and Peggy kind of are like a little competitive, I'd say. Like, they're like, oh, they have daughters the same age. And Peggy's like, my daughter's doing X, Y, and Z, and then Alexis is like saying the same thing. And I don't know, it's like almost like a Cold War. Like everything feels like a one-upping situation between the two of them. It feels really strange. But then like on the surface, they're like, we go way back and we're really good friends. But they've only hung out like once.
Yeah. But where they do have history is that there is no mystery. It's Alexis's Mr. See? I'm so tired. I don't know why I'm rhyming.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Peggy used to date Jim, and she also says back in the day Jim was like a real poonhound who would just like,
not like now where he's like the strong Christian leader that Alexis is fully in love with. Right.
He was not a family man. He loved pussy. He loved boozing, and Peggy is like not really trying to throw Alexis under the bus. I really think she's kind of innocent in that. She's like, wait, what? Like, you guys don't, he was proud of it then, but, Alexis and Jim are so into their according to Jim doctrine.
Yeah.
That
and the doctrine is like, I don't know how to eat an asparagus without you. I don't know how to wipe my own ass without you. May I be excused from the table without you? Like, can I pick my teeth without you? Like, this is what Alexis does when Jim is not around. She picks her teeth. Yes. On camera.
Yeah. Like, if anything, it's like he has a point.
Yeah, like, according to Jim, like, you shouldn't do that, Alexis.
Yeah. So
But she does not know, but not as on that it seems in the Bellino home this season.
Right, and I think this Cold War will truly explode by the end of the season and be a hot war.
Yeah,
war of the tits.
Did Sputnik explode? Sputnik didn't explode.
Okay. Sputnik 2.
The Challenger did.
The Challenger exploded. That was ours. That one's on
We're
us.
not going to talk about that one.
We're not going to talk about that.
That's not on us.
Okay. So
Jason, bleep the stuff about the Challenger.
Yeah, or just
keep Sputnik.
It lifts right out.
It lifts right out.
Okay. So speaking of someone who will never lift right out, who is still the linchpin of the season, is Vicki. Vicki is so jealous of Tamra's divorce, and that now Tamra gets to fuck and suck and have on-screen simulated sex in a bathtub, and also Tamra is like being courted by like a lesbian named Fernanda as well.
Yeah, no, and like Vicki's even jealous of like the very awful things happening in Tamra's divorce. Like Vicki's like, and Simon went to jail.
Dawn never goes to jail.
Dawn, like it'd be so exciting if you weren't home one day because you were in prison.
Yeah. You can tell Vicki's in crisis because I regret to inform you, she does have bangs this season.
So bad.
Yeah, which is another sign. This is another curse that people don't talk about enough. Tamra got bangs. When the OC
girls get bangs, it's a problem.
Bangs,
when Heather Dubrow got those bangs, she didn't get a divorce, but she just, I think, left the show. No, stroke. She didn't have a stroke. We're having a stroke right now.
No, Terry did have a stroke, but not because of the bangs. He's fine. He's okay.
She bangs.
She bangs. You know who else bangs and loves that Latin flavor
Tamra.
Is Vicki and Tamra. Well, like Vicki, because she's so jealous of and like so still hurt from Tamra joining Team I Hate Vicki last season. She's like, Tamra, if you want me back because I'm so horny inside of my marriage, you must wine me, dine me, and 69 me and take me to Mexico.
Yeah,
so
and she's
Tamra
like, okay, I'll take you to Mexico and maybe like drink. I mean, and Vicki does like her Vicki thing, which is work in the car.
Yes. Yep. Vicki is still pulling the I'm too good for this show, coming late to things, working in the car. But then she manages to cut a little loose in Cabo San Lucas.
They figure out how to take tequila shots.
Yep.
They drink Long Island iced teas by the pool. Disgusting.
Yeah. Basically, it's like the romantic trip that
Tamra does
romantic trip that Vicki doesn't let Dawn go
Tamra
on.
does a body shot and Vicki's like,
yeah, I think is this the first time we see Andales?
Andales is not in Cabo.
No, it's Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah. So
that's where we're gonna have Lauren's bachelorette party. Everyone's invited.
Everyone's invited, guys. Just meet us there. We're on our way.
It's not gonna ever happen. I mean,
it's gonna happen. I need to get a passport.
What?
Mine expired.
Oh, okay. I thought you never had one.
No, I had one once. Oh yeah, Vicki's marriage, she shares with Tamra in Mexico that it's almost completely falling apart because she hates Dawn and hates how he's like wants to spend time with her, and she's like, I'm busy, and also she's so horny, and she
won't leave the office. She's staying at the office until like 1 a.m.
Yeah, it's like she's blowing off steam by spanking her employees, which you can't tell me there's not a psychosexual component to that.
She's like, I'm basically her mother. And I'm very upset with her for leaving work, and she like spanks her on camera. And then like the girl's like, you're not really gonna spank me, right? And Vicki's like, I'm your mom. Yeah, she's not her mom. She is her employer, and that's very against the law.
This is definitely confirmation that this is why the episode order was cut short. They were almost in legal
trouble. They were like, oh, we're treading into like Lynn's daughter's drinking on camera.
Yes,
5-year-olds drinking on camera.
This is a liability. How horny Vicki is a liability. Also for her marriage. Also, I do think when I was watching this discussion between Tamra and Vicki in Mexico, we both had the same thought, which we were like, this is when Brooks got back in touch with Vicki. This is when Brooks was like,
because she is
leave
really
your husband for me.
Well, because it doesn't seem like Dawn's doing anything really egregious.
No.
Like, I think he's, you know, it happens later in the season, but like Vicki just hates him. She just hates him. It's like she's at a wine tasting in one scene with Peggy and Tamra, and they're like, Dawn was so funny the other night, and they're like, Yeah, Dawn was so funny, and then Vicky's like, I want to leave now. Everything's perfect.
I think I think she saw like Tamra, you know, being happy. She wasn't fired for getting a divorce. Like now she's, you know, having sex like 12 times a day
for
or
5
whatever.
hours, she's getting
Like,
dicked down in hot tubs for the
I know.
cameras.
And Vicki is so titillated by this. Like to me, that sounds like such a nightmare. 5 hours.
Oh my God, I was worried about her getting a UTI the whole time.
She definitely. Well,
the whole time.
The whole time you were. Whenever you fall in love, you do get a UTI.
Yeah, I have one right now, and I'm not even in love. No, I just get them. I just get them so easy.
Yeah, you're prone.
Yeah, I need Summer's Eve.
Yeah,
it's not from the
that'll do you right.
That'll like clean me right out. Get all the bacteria out.
Yeah. So then they get back from Mexico. Peggy also throws a fancy dinner party from a celebrity chef, but her and her husband didn't realize they'd be eating Mexican food. And
by the way, okay, this is an actually very famous chef. Like she's been on Top Chef. She's a very famous chef. Yeah, she's like one of the most revered Mexican chefs. I mean, she's not Mexican actually, but like does like the most like revered like Mexican food like in the country. Like I think her restaurant's one of the like still voted like one of the top 5 Mexican restaurants in like the country. I'm like, how do these people not fucking know? Like,
and like Mexican food, it's also like often very nice restaurants.
Yeah, the presentation, they're just like, well, can we get something that's like a steakhouse? And they're like, well, we're giving you steak. And he's like, no.
Yeah, Dunkelman is like...
Dunkelman now. Dunkelman smash.
So the dinner hosted by Peggy and her Ed Hardy, Brian Dunkelman husband goes down with a million issues. Slade doesn't show up because we are now like into the we're not going to talk about Slade and Gretchen very much eras until they do things that are interesting because it's the same old script.
Yeah.
He wants to get married. I don't want to get married. It's actually bullshit. You guys aren't getting married because then he'd have to pay his child support thing.
Yeah, but this is like in the press during this.
Yes,
dinner.
It's in the OC Register, guys. Check it out, underrated tabloid. But yeah, so he is. He recently got dinged for not paying his child support on his one healthy child and his other child dying of a brain tumor, and that is the real reason they aren't getting married. Jim doesn't show up because he can't be seen at like a. You know, someone has a real job and real money, where someone has a steady gig as the first host of American Idol, who
by the way,
has discovered.
We should say that Peggy is not actually married to Brian Dunkelman.
He looks so. He might as well be him, though.
He might as well be the Dunkster.
We'll do a side by side in the video.
But yeah, or we could just do a picture of Brian Dunkelman. I mean, no one's gonna care.
Who cares? Who cares?
God, yeah, no, it's a crazy dinner because you know what I noticed? They don't have a pool in that backyard. Gross.
Yeah, they should have gone above ground. That's what I say. Alexis has a meltdown because Jim isn't there, so she's like kind of malfunctioning. Like, you know,
she's do I drink Red Bull? Do I get coffee? Do I kill myself? Do I talk to my friends?
Yeah.
And so what she ends up doing is calling and texting her husband via whole dinner and then sobbing in the bathroom with Gretchen, who is like, what's wrong? My boyfriend doesn't, you know, go with me everywhere. Oh yeah, that's the other thing happening at this dinner. Everyone's laughing at Gretchen when they ask like where Slade is, and she's like, he's with his boys tonight. And
yeah, it's like, no he's not.
No he's not. Yeah, so I don't know, it's the Bugs Bunny voice. But yeah, Alexis is like sobbing in the bathroom the whole time, and like everyone's getting up from this table at this point. Tamra's trying to listen in on the conversation, so then Peggy ends up getting up because there's nobody left at the dinner table except all of the like house husbands and the 2 gays that Gretchen and Alexis brought because their like respective spouses didn't want to show up and get, you know, blasted on national TV this one time. But yeah, I mean, I did think it was funny when Peggy was like yelling at Alexis, like didn't feel bad for her at all. It was like, you can either get your shit together and come back to the table, or you should just leave.
Yeah. She needs that strong, authoritative, you know, voice. She needs that Kevin
and then she does come back to the table.
Yeah.
she does come back to the table, and then Tamara's like, "Smile, sweetie. You look better when you smile." And then Alexis is like, "Okay," and she really did need that energy. Like, "Okay."
She needs coaching. She needs, like,
She needs
that's
coaching,
really what Jim is more like for her. It's like he's not really like I'm in short,
He's
they're
like
both,
he's like
he's like
a
pageant
Bobby
mom, like,
Knight,
yes, Bobby Knight, where he's like, hoik him up, hoik up the tits a little higher for the Lord.
Yeah, yeah.
Give us
He
a
throws
little.
like chairs. He doesn't throw chairs, but he's just sort of an aggressive type of person.
Fellow.
But he's a good Christian man who. Remember that vacation they go on this season? They go to like a resort with their family.
Mm-hmm.
They have like a little, I guess they rented kind of like a house on this resort, and Jim's like yelling at the people at the hotel, like, remove this desk and this chair, we won't be needing them. And so they're like literally like moving
Having to
furniture
haul
for like 2 nights. Yeah.
Also, it's like, what a self-own to be like, I won't be working here. I don't
I
have
need
a job.
desk and a chair. Okay.
In fact, take my laptop, servants.
Yeah, and they're like, what? It's dusty.
Yeah, Alexis is like starting to, like a good
she's starting to wean off of
girl.
Jim's
She's starting
kit.
to go out on her own and be the money cow. And she's starting her dress line, and she models
Alexis
dresses.
Couture.
Alexis Couture. She's very like howdy and open mouthed. Right?
Yeah, and they're like, don't do that. Like when she's getting pictures taken for they're like,
just
don't
normal.
do that. She's like, I'm a natural. They're like, no.
She's shocked.
Yeah,
everything
she's doing is like that painting, like the Scream.
The Scream.
High art, bitch.
High art. And then, just to circle back to Gretchen and Slade real quick, they're also doing some really haunting. Gretchen's also doing some really haunting body shaming. The term Taba Waba will stick with me until the end of days.
Gretchen's also giving some shades of Bobby Knight by being really mean to Slade. It's the only time I ever was like, I kind of feel bad for this guy. She I guess she's upset also kind of a little bit about the child support and him not
but
having.
But she won't bring it up on camera because she
does a little bit.
This guy. Yeah,
but she's mostly just like, stand in the middle of the living room and I want to weigh you on the scale. Like you can't. She's like, you can't reach above like 15 pounds. It's disgusting. Like you're a tubba wubba. And it goes on all season where she's like shitting all over his weight. I was like,
it's exactly the same as like Joe and Slade, where it's like he makes a deal with these women where he's like, I'll protect you on camera, I'll be the one to do scenes with you so you don't have to be just with these other women being mean to you in scenes, but you like need to make me look good. And then of course they get frustrated because they know deep down they're the reason he's on camera and he needs them, and and so then they do things to humiliate him. And it's kind of what he likes. I think
he gets off on it.
I love it. Yeah, I think that's his dream.
He likes like schlepping around Gretchen Christine purses. Oh my god. That scene. Okay, there's a scene where I know we're not really supposed to talk about Gretchen and Slade, but there's a scene where she does like a local TV talk show in San Antonio, where I was born. I was born on this. I was born on that.
On the Riverwalk.
I was born on the Riverwalk. Yeah, one of those little boats. No, so she does like a local TV show to promote her makeup and handbag line, and Slade gets everything prepped and like ready for like the news station, and they're making fun of him, the newscaster. Do you remember the anchor? She's like, Gretchen's like, he's gotten so good with the makeup and the handbags, like he's like such a professional. And then the anchor's like, don't tell people that.
Haha, gay.
He's gay.
2000s. He's gay.
He's so gay.
You fool. You gay fool.
And then there's hijinks, and Slade's sad about his weight.
Mm-hmm.
Gretchen also kind of shitty about the dogs being overweight. She's like, everyone in my life is fat.
Yeah, she's clearly frustrated that like, it's like she and Tamra were past all of the Jeff stuff and now she's mad about it again. She's clearly upset that Slade is like kind of making a fool of her, and like he said that he would get it under control, and also he's too inflamed from his lectin and his diet. So I think
he's
that
too
this is kind of the way
he's eating eggplants.
This is the way she's exerting. Not to excuse it, I did not like watching it, but I do think that is psychologically what's happening. The same way Vicki is exerting control over not wanting to fuck her husband anymore by keeping, staying at the office till 2 a.m. flogging her employees. Our girls are going through it.
They are going through it. Also, Alexis and Jim are actually broke, and the cracks are starting to form.
Yeah. Lots of good groundwork for the second half of the season.
Yes. Yeah, they find out, like, it's been in the press that, like, Jim and Alexis owe money on their house and he hasn't been paying, so they do, like, a loan something, reconstruction. Essentially what it means is, like, you need to start paying on your house. Like, they haven't been paying their mortgage, but, and no one can tell you what Jim does for a living. I can tell you what he does now, and I did tell you.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
Oh yeah, this is an important revelation, I think, for the students. We do need to talk about it. So this is actually, I think, a good note to end on too, because it's like, oh, this is kind of the origin story of Lexi. That, like, this is the first time that, people started pointing out on camera her husband sucks, they don't have any money, and that's kind of what molded her into the litigious young woman we know today. What molded her into Lexi J, if you will. Which, let's cut to, 12 years later. 10 years later. We've got Jim Bellino, actually, who was molded by the same fire as Alexis. And so, not surprising that his restaurant...
He's an entrepreneur. He has a restaurant in San Clemente, California.
Recently changed their name to none other
Jimmy B's.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wow.
Spooky.
I know.
And they hosted Alexis's, like, the premiere of the OC at the restaurant, and Alexis was there. She was, like, the guest bartender or something.
Yeah. So something tells me those two...
They're holding a candle, a torch. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are definitely, things are still in Lexi's life, I think, even though they're also according to Johnny now, they're still according to Jim, too.
They're still according to Jim. Yeah, Alexis still doesn't know how to do things without Jim.
Yeah, and he's the one who has all the great lawsuit ideas.
But it is so crazy that he changed the name of the restaurant to Johnny B's, like, in, like,
crazy.
May.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was, like, last October, but, like, she had just started dating, Here's Johnny.
Why did they all rebrand the same?
He never
Are they
went
a throuple?
I don't know, but he never went by Jimmy on the show.
Never
Jimmy.
once. No.
Wow.
We need to do a deep dive on this.
Wow, Bethany. Wow. I'm sure that Jimmy B do our show. I don't know if Jim Bellino would do our show, but Jimmy B is down for the show.
Yeah.
Jimmy B will spill the tea. That's a Jimmy B guarantee.
Please don't sue us, Jimmy B.
Well,
okay, so what grade would you give the first half of this season, Michele?
I really like this season. I have to say, there's some really iconic stuff happening. Tamra's tits. Vicki being so mad that her husband is funny and loves her and wants to spend time with her. She's threatening divorce.
Yeah.
I really do like Peggy. Like, she's such an upgrade from Lynn, even though we see Lynn for 2 seconds going like...
Is my face falling off?
And yeah, I do like Gretchen a little bit, like, shaming Slade.
Yeah, it's a little cathartic.
Actually, I don't really like that. No, I don't like that.
I
but
don't
I
like
did
the body shame, but I like her talking back to him.
I actually did like the scene with Slade's mom being like, what, do you have money without, like, Gretchen, like, promoting Gretchen? He's like, I do. And then she's like, what is it? And then he never says.
I love that Slade's mom always calls him a piece of shit on camera.
Yeah.
Like, it's
she's like, why are you a piece of shit? Also, like, why do Gretchen's parents hate you so much? Is it because you don't have any money of your own? Or is it because you don't pay for child support? You don't have anything outside of Gretchen?
But I also blame Gretchen for bringing them into it. She's just, that's what pisses me off about Gretchen. She's too scared to do a scene with Tamra or Vicki, so she's pulling out friends all season. She's pulling out her parents. It's like, girl, get to a dinner, okay? I don't care.
Yeah, get to a dinner. That's the thing. That's always been Gretchen's downfall. It wasn't actually Slade. It was the fact that she never connected with any of the cast.
Yeah.
She always had fake storylines. Like, I'm going to redo my mom's dress. Her wedding dress. Like, fuck you.
Yeah. Like, they're the ones who hate Slade. They're the reason we can't be together. It's not that like, then the state of California would take any income I'm paying him secretly as my employee. It's like, okay, well, it's like such a house of cards. It's too fake even for this time in reality TV.
I can't.
And we all saw right through it. Yeah.
I give it the first half a solid B.
I will give it a B too. Yeah, it's like it's fun. It's
fun.
Washed over me.
I like Tamra and Vicki together. I always think it's better TV when they're getting along.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tamra was really funny this season.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's overall good. So some themes of this season would be I really like keeping up with the Joneses.
Mm-hmm.
Or keeping
up
with the
Bellinos,
the bees, the Dunkelmans. It's keeping up with, everyone's trying to keep up appearances, and everything's kind of, crumbling. Not in like the dramatic way we saw with the curtains, but like little holes are being poked in people's storylines and the images they're presenting of this. And so that's gonna be the end of our lesson plan.
That is funny though. This season of OC, they're like, does Gina just spend her life on the internet reading about our lives? I did not like when Tamra, it happens later this season because I was watching more, when Tamra's like, there's Gina probably gonna have a relapse of her mad cow disease.
Oh my God, yeah.
I don't love it. Don't love it.
No.
And then Jason was watching it and he was like, Gina had mad cow disease. He's like, she's calling her fucking crazy and fat. He's like, you can relapse? And I was like, God damn it, Jason. And then he was like,
he's too pure for this world.
He laughed, and then he's like, Tamra's top tier. It's like, she is.
She is.
She is top tier. And
no
oh my God, yeah. He's had never seen that Eddie sex scene and was like, it's not.
It's so softcore.
He's like, it's not stopping. I was like, I know. There's a camera guy in there. And then Eddie's like, you're so naked. And she's like, I so am. Oh my God. And then, I don't know. There's so much racism this season too.
Yeah.
Towards Latin American men.
Yeah.
Like when Vicki and Tamra are drinking wine or they're wine tasting or something. I don't know if it was with Peggy, but Vicki's like, the guy is like Hispanic, and Vicki's like, you would like him, Tamra. He's Mexican. And the guy's like, I'm not Mexican. He's like, I'm Puerto Rican. And then Vicki's like, well, she likes you because you're dark. He's like, oh, okay. He felt really sad.
Ay.
Exactly. Adios mio.
Okay, let's call it. Love you. I'll see you Wednesday.